Hi everyone, I wanted to come online real quick and talk about this accident that occurred on January 12th here on the I-10 Interstate in Chandler, Arizona, Phoenix. I've been getting some questions online about the accident. Several questions came in regarding the trucking companies and the families, and it's such a horrible situation. It looks like 5 people have lost their lives. And my heart goes out to their families and what they're going through right now. The question actually came in from Sarah, and she had asked, how can the families of the victims hold these trucking companies responsible for such a horrific accident? It's a very interesting question because these accidents actually should never happen on the interstate with trucks. They do occur, and typically what's gone on is there's some either driver error or company error, and to hold those responsible and maybe get some compensation for the victims is a task that the police don't always have to do. You know, there could be some criminal investigations done, but usually the reports, and we can't jump to any conclusions, the reports aren't out. The fire reports, the police department reports. So we don't know exactly what happened, but the police are not going to do an in-depth investigation into the accident. They do enough to get to the facts of how it occurred and maybe do a reconstruction, but they can't always go that extra step. And that's where a good law firm that specializes in truck accidents can come in. You know, we do these cases where we hire an investigator that's local, goes to the scene, actually views the truck, what's left of these vehicles, gets the black box out of it. If you get that additional information, and maybe the police already have the black box, but there could be inspections, hands-on inspections, looking at the wheels, looking at the maintenance issues, and then going a step further and actually looking at the companies and how those drivers were trained. I know it was a early morning accident. It looked like it was still dark out. There's a good chance that there was some visibility issues. And when we look at that, sometimes we're looking at the driver's training to drive a vehicle of that weight, of that complexity with lower visibility. And maybe it was a distracted driving issue. So was there training on being distracted in the vehicles? And the crazy part about the accident is it looks like there was, at least a couple of different things that happened that were negligent. So that's kind of the part of putting negligence so that you can show there was fault, someone made a mistake, and therefore we need to hold them accountable so that this doesn't happen again. You know, anytime these accidents happen, it's just shocking. You look at the devastation that's on the road and the amount of people's lives that are affected, and you hope that you can do something to change those people's lives, to make sure that, that doesn't happen again, and compensate those families for what they've lost. So, I think the answer to the question is to investigate, to actually figure out the nitty-gritty details, get the investigators out there, do an accident reconstruction. You may have to scan the intersection, you draw it out, even do digital graphics. And sometimes a jury ends up deciding, what the fault was and what amount of compensation is just in a situation like this. There has to be a law firm that's going to look at this very carefully and take it all the way to trial potentially. So, and if there is that responsibility taken, meaning eventually either a jury makes that decision and says, you know what, this company made this mistake. They failed to train their driver to drive at night, or they knew the driver had past history of being distracted, and they didn't take care of that. Now the jury puts some responsibility on them, and it causes some change in their company to make sure that this doesn't happen again. But the unfortunate fact is truck accidents, semi-truck accidents, 18-wheelers, they're just extremely dangerous. And the companies and the drivers need extreme caution. And I really hope that, I'm going to be monitoring the situation, and hopefully that, as details emerge, we find out more so that something can be done about this.